Most people wake up tired, scroll on their phones, and repeat the same habits every single day. So instead of guessing what the perfect routine is, I spent hours reading research and articles to design one that was actually backed by science. Today, I'm going to build it and show it all to you guys. In next week's video, I'm actually going to do it and live it for 5 days. Not to cherry pick hacks, but to answer one question. If energy, focus, and sleep were the goal, what would the routine actually look like? Because my morning and night routine are absolutely horrible. I'm hoping that this challenge will help transform that. So really quickly, here are the rules that I followed for this. The first rule is that it has to be evidence-based, so based on one of the articles that I found. The second rule is it has to be realistic. This isn't gonna be like my monk mode video. If you haven't seen that, you should go check it out. That video was very extreme. This is going to be a lot more realistic and day-to-day, so maybe even you guys could try to follow a routine that I'm doing. And rule number 3 is that it has to be repeatable. So similar to rule number 2, it has to be something that I'm comfortable doing every single day. And with all that out of the way, it's time to hop into our morning routine. What I noticed throughout most of the articles was the first thing they agreed on was consistency, which meant that I had to decide on a wake up time. Now, since I'm working a corporate job, I basically get up at the same time every single day now. So I set my morning wake up time to 7 a.m. every single day. A fixed wake up time trains your brain to expect focus. That way also your body remembers to wake up at the same time every single day, and you really start setting a routine for yourself. What's also important with this is that you actually get up at the time that you set, which is one of my biggest struggles. I know that whenever I set an alarm, I tend to push it out 10, 15 minutes, but it's really important that you don't do that and you really try to actually get up at the time that you set for yourself, so you're developing that routine. So the second part of a perfect morning routine is not using your phone for basically the first half of the morning. When you wake up in the morning, you're actually in your most creative mindset. So when you access your phone, you're taking away not only that creativity, but you're jumping directly from a sleepy state to being wide awake. And that's not optimal for your day-to-day life. So what I'm going to end up doing is, I'm not going to touch my phone until around breakfast time, which is 30 minutes to an hour after I wake up. That way I can go through my morning without using any electronics and only use it as I'm getting ready to head out for the day. The research actually shows that drinking water in the morning can not only boost cognitive performance, but increase your metabolism as well. And I personally have a goal of trying to drink a gallon of water a day. So what I like to do is I like to drink a quarter gallon in the morning, quarter gallon at work, quarter gallon at the gym, and then a quarter gallon at night. So this water bottle right here is 1/4 gallon. So my goal is to finish this before I head out for the morning. Now also one of the first things I'm going to do when I wake up every single morning is make my bed. Now it may not seem like a big thing, like I can just make my bed whenever I'm back home from work, whenever I'm back home from the gym, whenever I come back, right? But it's all about setting a routine. And it can also calm your mind knowing you're coming home to a clean house. The next one is going to be something brand new that I actually have never done as part of my morning routine, which is going to be stretching. When you get up, have you ever noticed that you'll just naturally want to stretch, lean back, and take in a big gasp of air? That's because our body wants to move after being stationary for so long, after being sleepy for so long. So why not capitalize on that? I also need to because I'm very stiff. I'm just not flexible whatsoever. So I'm hoping by doing this, I'm going to be able to be a lot more flexible at the end of this. So after that, I'll usually get in a quick shower, I'll brush my teeth, and then I'll move on to the 5th part of this routine, which is breakfast. And your willpower is the highest in the morning, so that's when good decisions matter the most. And that includes eating a very healthy breakfast. They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that's for a reason. This is what gives you the energy for the rest of your day. So I start off my day with a bagel, some oatmeal. Sometimes I'll throw a banana in there. And then this is also when I try to drink my first quarter gallon of the day. This meal sets up the rest of your day. So it's very important that you get it in the morning. And that's the end of our morning routine. So now we're gonna hop into our night routine. Now the first part of a night routine is to actually set your bedtime. And research actually shows that your brain starts winding down a few hours before you go to bed. Now I wake up at the same time every day, so I'm also wanting to fall asleep at the same time every day. I'm going to set my bedtime at 11 p.m. every single day. Sleep starts before your head hits the pillow. Now the second part of this routine is going to be no electronics around 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed. The reason for that is the blue light from your phone actually tricks your brain into thinking that it's daytime. That's why you'll see so many people try to use blue light glasses to try to limit the amount of blue light they're actually seeing at night. But for the most optimal routine, the phone is going away for 30 to 60 minutes. Now the third part of this night routine, this is actually interesting because I've never actually done this either. This is going to be journaling. Now, I've never journaled before, but studies show that even if you spend 5 minutes every single night just writing down a to-do list of what you have to do for the next day, it can actually reduce the clutter from your brain and allow you to sleep easier. So every night, I think right before I go to bed, I'll spend 5 minutes just writing down and journaling what I intend to do for the next day. I think it'll be really good for planning ahead too, setting a schedule for what I want to do tomorrow. Now the fourth step in this routine, this is kind of a lot just mashed into one step, but it's apparently preparing your environment or preparing your bedroom for your sleep. So research shows that you ideally want to set your thermostat between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That way you're sleeping in a cooler environment, which actually makes it easier for you to sleep. Obviously no electronics, the lights are pulled down, everything is a dim environment around you. And you can even use things like aromatherapy. And the last part of this routine, which is also going to be a struggle for me, is only eating food 3 hours before you go to bed. So I said my bedtime is 11 p.m. I should be eating my last dinner meal or last meal in general no later than 8 p.m. And there's a reason for that too. So it takes your body at least 3 hours to digest your food. So if you don't wait that 3 hours and you eat food right before you go to bed, that food sits in your stomach until the next morning. When you go to sleep, your stomach goes to sleep. So all the food that you left in your stomach is going to stay there in the morning and only start digesting in the morning. Now on paper, this should be the perfect routine for my morning and night. But routines don't fail on paper. So for the next 5 days, I'm following this routine exactly. No shortcuts. Keep dreaming, keep reaching, keep grinding, and never stop. I'll see you guys in part 2.